there. Welcome to the very first episode of our Brighture podcast. My name is Irish. Nice to meet you all. I know most of you have already watched our Instagram expressions video. 1-minute expressions video on Instagram and here on YouTube. And we thank you so much for that. For those who haven't, please check the link down on the description box below. Now, this Brighture podcast is a new set of videos where we will be talking about everything and anything under the sun. Each episode, I'll be featuring different individuals or different Brighture individuals from the management team, from the teaching staff, Japanese staff, or maybe one of these days, our dear Brighture alumni. So, if you're curious to meet these people or you're just excited to see one of your favorite Brighture teachers outside Skype or Zoom, watch all our episodes. By the way, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. So, let's get down to business. For my guests today, we have two of our beloved academic advisors. We have Rex and Yang. Hi guys, please introduce yourselves.
Hi there, my name is Rex, and I'm from Brighture, of course. And recently I've been into betta fish keeping. I don't know if you know that one.
What?
Betta fish.
What's that?
It's a kind of fish. It's very colorful and it has very long fins and so on.
Okay, I don't know that. Okay, thank you for describing.
It's okay.
It's cute though. Yeah, but hi, my name is Yang, and I've been with Brighture for almost 3 years. And lately I've been into reading mangas. So
Ooh.
that's my
What's
hobby.
the current manga you're reading right now?
That would be One Piece and Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been following them.
I also don't know that. Okay. I can't relate to my guests, guys. I'm sorry. But anyways, well, since this is our very first episode, like I said, so we're going to be talking about our firsts.
Okay.
Whatever is on your mind, guys, right now, it's not that first. So, let me start with my first question. What's your first thought for today? This morning, the moment you woke up, what's your first thought? Who wants to go first? Ladies first? Gentlemen first?
I think it's ladies first.
Okay, Yang
Yeah.
then.
The first thought that came to mind earlier this morning was today would be a very stressful day.
We have the same thought.
Really?
Yeah.
We have the same brain waves.
It's Wednesday hump day.
Stressful day.
It's a stressful day.
Okay.
How about you, Rex?
I don't know, because after waking up, what I usually set my mind to is to make my bed.
So you don't have a thought.
That's making my bed. Because as a person, I think I'm like a goal getter, so I always set specific goals for the day, and I think that making our bed is the very first task that we're going to be accomplishing. So if you're going to be accomplishing that, then I think you're ready to conquer all the big tasks for the day. So making my bed.
Makes sense. Actually,
Exactly.
I've read somewhere, watched a video somewhere that a lot of successful people start their day by making their beds.
Really?
So
Maybe
I'm
that's
looking
why I'm not
forward
successful.
to you being successful, and don't forget about us
Of course.
when you
of
become a
course.
millionaire
Yes,
someday.
we're friends.
Yeah, definitely. I'm claiming that.
Yes. All right. So now I know that both of you, or the three of us actually, have been with Brighture for a few years now. So let's take a short trip down memory lane and remember our first day entering or stepping into the office of Brighture. As for me, I remember that day. Actually, I forgot if it was a weekend or a weekday, but I remember stepping in, and my first impression was, wow, it's so white and clean. That was in our previous office inside the mall. So it was so clean, it was so white. And in my experience, I've never been in an office this clean and this white. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I don't know how I sound to you guys, but that's the truth. How about you guys?
I think the ambience was it's really serious, like it's so businesslike. And it was my first time to feel that kind of atmosphere in an ESL school. Brighture is actually my third ESL school, but my first and second one were like pretty relaxed, I can say. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing though, but I kind of like felt out of place at first. Yeah, because I'm a very playful individual.
Yeah,
Like,
I can
really
see that.
like to talk loud sometimes, and I feel like I need to like be my best behavior every time, and like I would step inside the office.
That's also what I think is what makes Brighture unique from other ESL schools. Because, again, in my experience, like what Yang said, a lot of the ESL schools are very relaxed. You know, you're like
Yes.
doing casual conversations and such. With Brighture, it's the opposite.
Yes.
You
Exactly.
have to. We have to be in a certain way. You have to teach in a certain way. Although sometimes our quirkiness really comes out.
Correct.
And
Yes.
Yang, you're not out of place. You just fit perfectly here at
Thank
Brighture.
you.
How about you, Rex?
I actually have the same idea with you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, firstly, when I set my foot onto the institution, I was like, oh, this place is just so well lit. It's very spacious.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was so excited back then because finally I get to work with people whose culture is so different from mine. Like, it's very multicultural. And speaking of the people, I actually tried to read the room first. So the very first day, I was kind of observant with all the people, and they were like talking, and I was like, observing these classes. Because, in all modesty, when I graduated from university, I had graduated with flying colors. And so when I actually went into the
Wow.
workplace, I thought, oh, I'm so ready to take on new challenges and new roles. However, Brighture just reminded me that there will always be greater person than yourself. And so this place is also keeping me so grounded and making me realize that every day there is something to look forward to for, like a new learning, a new lesson.
Correct. Besides, learning doesn't stop when you, like, after you graduate.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a never-ending process.
Yes, it's forever.
Exactly.
If there is a such thing as forever. But anyways, when we talk about Brighture, of course, we always have to talk about our CEO,
Yes.
the founder of Brighture, Mr.
Yes.
Matsui, right? So, what are your first impressions of him?
When I actually was hired, I heard a lot about him, mainly from Ja, Ira, and then Amy. They were like, you should meet this man because he's very talkative and he likes striking up conversations and friendships with some other people. I was like, I'm so excited to meet that man because I myself have a lot of information that I would really love to share with him. But on the day when he arrived at Brighture, I was really waiting for him to approach me, but he did not.
That's sad.
Right.
Why?
I'm not really sure, but I remember that time I talked to myself and said, hey, Rex, if it's any consolation, just know that he might have not really recognized or noticed you and so on. But recently we got a short talk and he apologized actually. But I was like, hey, sir, it's A-okay. I did not really take it to heart, so nothing to worry about. But honestly, he said that he did not notice me. Yeah, but I remember that instance did not really change my admiration for him. I remember always anticipating all his speeches. And
yes.
I remembered his talks about how CEOs would just normally choose one single type of dress and outfit because that would save them time. And I remembered him telling how even though real life is very hard, it's always better than fiction, which is almost like a utopia or a perfect world, but it's not really it's non-existent. So I think he has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Wow.
People would always want to hear
Wow.
him say something.
That's my first time hearing that word. Okay.
Yeah, and that was my first impression. He's like very insightful, and I thought to myself, oh, I could learn a lot from this man. And I think that's one indicator that you are in the right room, right? When somebody else is smarter than you.
Hearing you say that makes me think, like, Mr. Matsui, I think you have a fan. Right
I'm
here.
a fan.
A number one fan.
Yeah,
right
and I'm
here.
hoping that all your speeches would be my inspirations for my speeches in the near future.
I see.
Yeah.
And you?
Well, I kind of have like the same opinion as Rex, but I have the opposite reaction. Like, Rex really wanted to talk to him. I didn't. I didn't. Maybe because I'm not used to talking to the boss. And I'm really not good with like like talking to like one person only. I prefer group talks because I tend to like observe people first. I kind of like to feel what kind of personality this person has so that I can adjust my personality as well, or my way of talking. But he wants to talk one-on-one, so like, what should I say? Like, what should I do? Like, this is my boss or something. So whenever I see him like roaming around trying to look for like a teacher to talk to, I try to
make yourself busy. I understand.
Really? Okay.
Or something.
I also feel the same way. I mean, my first impression of him was that this is a cool guy. He's a cool boss. He's a cool Japanese guy.
He is.
Because we have our, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my stereotype of Japanese people are the opposite of what Mr. Matsui is.
Shy.
So I also was kind of excited to talk to him, but also at the same time afraid to talk to him. Because like what Yang said, what should I say? I mean, what do I say to a boss, to him, right? Because for me, he's our boss.
He is.
No matter what, no matter how much he tells us that we should call him by his first name, or we should talk to him or stuff like that.
Casually.
But, yes, correct. But in my mind, he's my boss, so I still have to be respectful and very polite in some way.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yes.
But I'm really wondering, did you try to talk with him? Because I read a quote once. It says like, "There's nothing worse than settling on our what ifs." So, did you talk with him? Did you even try?
I don't remember actually.
It's okay.
I think that the times that we talk are only when he approaches me.
Okay.
When I do approach him, though, it's about work.
Okay.
It's not about casual stuff.
Yes.
So maybe in the future we'll have our own casual conversation someday. Maybe you will be here having a talk with me in this podcast. We'll see.
Hopefully.
So guys, if you like that idea, please comment down below. Let us know what you think about that.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, lastly, if Brighture is an ESL school, right? So it's an English as a secondary language school. We teach English. So let's talk about English, because we are English teachers. So I'd like to know, when was the first time you realized that you have a love for English?
That was when I was in grade 4. When I was like a kid, an elementary student, I remember my father would always create this schedule for playing and for studying and so on. And at 2 p.m., he would always call me and he would present me this very big book of encyclopedia. And I remember that was the first time I read a story about Moby Dick and Cinderella and how to craft paper airplanes and so on.
Wow.
And from then, I realized, oh, this language is very interesting. I could actually make use of it anywhere I am, right? And even right now, I still think that English is pretty much useful, universal language, right?
Yes,
Yeah, as we call it.
How about you, Yang?
I loved English later though, not the same as you. Like you're an elementary school student. I learned to love English when I became a high school student. I remembered I hated English when I was in elementary school, maybe because I'm very lazy when it comes to studying.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things to study in English. And it's not the same with Filipino. Like, it's kind of like second nature to us to like immediately know what's the meaning of these words, of those sentences. But I remembered there was one time in high school that I read a story. It's called The Gift of the Magi.
Magi. Gift of the Magi.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Gift of the I love the story.
Okay, so thank you for correcting my pronunciation. How do you pronounce that one?
The Gift of the Magi.
Magi.
Right. I'm not really sure though, but I think it's Magi as far as I could remember.
Maggie?
It's a brand here in the Philippines.
Yes, because I don't
Magi,
know,
yeah.
because when we discussed that story, my teacher said that it was the gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think this would
guys,
be
comment down what's the correct
pronunciation.
of that
We'd
word.
like to know that.
Exactly.
If
And I
it's
think that
Magi or Magi.
that would set as a reminder to us teachers, like, you should be teachers worthy of emulation, because after all, children are very good imitators.
Yes, yes.
So we need to be careful. We need to study. And teaching is not simply just blurring out all these principles and concepts. It's about educating. And you may continue.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the gift of the Magi. Yes, and I was so touched with the story that I realized how amazing the English language is. It's kind of like it's like in English, it's not really that you need to use very complicated words, like a lot of idiomatic expressions when you're writing or when you're speaking. But the beauty of it is how you would arrange these words
Correct.
to properly convey your message. And the gift of that story was very beautiful
That's
to me.
right.
And I was like, oh, I want to learn how to like do this in the future. Yeah. So
That's really the beauty of English, right?
That's
Being
right.
able to communicate to other people, of other nationalities, to be
Yes.
exact. Well, as for me, it's much later than both of you. My God, I feel like I'm giving up my age. It was when I first started working. Because when I was at school, I'm not really as studious as maybe both of you. I just go to school
I was
because
not
I was
studious.
asked to go to school. So, and then I just found out that I'm good with this subject.
Mm-hmm.
I never failed this subject, and then when I started working, I realized I love this subject. So I studied it more, and then I learned a lot of things about it. So I did my own research about the subject or English itself. So I guess now I can say that I love English, like super love English. It's my passion. It's second nature to me, the language. But anyways, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts today, guys. So that's it for our podcast today. Thank you so much for joining me, Rex, and Yang in our very first episode. So we'd like to listen to you guys, or we'd like to hear from you guys. What's your first impression of this video? So please comment down below and we will read your comments. Actually, they will read your comments. And
We will.
who knows, maybe on the next video, we will feature 1 or 2 or 3 of those comments. We'll give a shout out to you guys. All right. So again, this has been Brighture Podcast. Thank you so much. Good day and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.